Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm Parker Imro,
And I'm Rodney Ferrell.
and this is the Conversation Station.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about NFTs and everything in between. Where do you want to start?
Man, let's talk about this first. This is your first episode. I hear this is your first episode.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Nice, nice.
Dude,
Well,
this
I,
is
I just want to say I'm excited. I'm excited to be on here, to have you take a vision or idea and turn it into reality. And this is it.
yeah,
Happy to be a part of it.
it's cool. I'm really
Yeah.
excited. Um so do you want to just tell the audience a bit about yourself so they know that I'm not just talking to some Jeff I met on the side of the road?
Yeah, let me do that. I think that'll give the audience a little bit of light. Rodney Ferrell, like we said in the beginning, I am a serial entrepreneur, um, individual who originated from Los Angeles, then moved up to Northern California at an early age. I would say about 10. Um, Went to high school in Vacaville, went to college at Sac State, been in Sacramento since 1999. Decided to stay after I got into the mortgage business. Um, Purchased my first property when I was, I don't know, I think I was like 24, something like that. Yeah, 24. And I decided to stay because the career was nice for me in the real estate industry. Um, and then after 2008, the economy took a big crash. I jumped into different industries, as an entrepreneur does, and started understanding business more, started understanding myself more, and started really understanding what it is that I truly wanted to do, which is invest in people and invest in businesses and be a part of the growth of those enterprises. And fast forwarding to today, I have quite a few organizations that I'm involved with, from a board level perspective, CEO level perspective. A lot of decision making, a lot of strategies, and a lot of fires that need to be put out by being an entrepreneur. But I'm excited every day because I do something every day that I love to do, which is help people work on projects that I like and I enjoy. That's always exciting. And it's a constant journey of getting rich.
Yeah,
Because
I
that
mean,
definitely helps.
yeah.
I think and I'll leave with this. I think we are all born rich. We have to unlearn and unlearn certain things and learn who we are as humans, and just focus on being great and contributing. So, yeah, that's what I'm about.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I gotta say, I mean, everybody watching, this guy's awesome. I
Thank you.
mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's anything else I could say, but like, I guess I gotta tell you guys about me.
Yes,
You,
sir.
you can't have a podcast without knowing the host.
Yeah.
So, my name is Parker. I'm 14 years old, and I love doing video work, and I've started doing client work more recently. But then, very recently, I started with the idea of wanting to do a podcast, and then kind of fell out a little bit. But then I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it, and this is the first episode, and we'll see where it takes us.
Nice. 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 I'm gonna have some questions for you too, for the audience, because I appreciate what you said about me, but you are awesome. I think I actually did a social media post I did on my story, and I talked about the conversation station that I'm going to be on a podcast with a partner of mine. I called you a young genius on there on the story, and I said be on the lookout for conversation station because you know not many people in life, man, over time, just do what they say they're going to do. And you are someone who has just executed, right? You make a decision to do something and you just do it, right? You don't, there's no like, hey, man, I don't know. You just make it happen. You try it and you do it until you learn it, or you just say, hey, this is for me or it's not for me. So Those are
Yeah.
awesome traits that you have.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'm
Absolutely.
gonna start off with the question of, do you think NFTs are the future? And just touching on that a little bit.
Yeah. I will. I do 100%. I think NFTs are the future. Um, and let me just preface this. I'm not the end all be all. I would say I am still in a learning phase of just understanding just life in general, but I do my best to research and learn and grow and dive into it. The thing that I really appreciate about NFTs and the reason why I believe it is the future, because it's just another layer of intellectual property. It's another layer of intelligent design of art of ideas that we now have the ability to acquire and to own a piece of someone's creative genius. And that creative genius can now be protected inside of the blockchain, and it could have a very significant record of
Yeah,
if we,
yeah,
right?
because I
And
think
I
that.
think I would like you to say really
Okay.
quick. I'm going to cut you off, but I really would like you to actually tell people what an NFT is. And when you hold on, before I do that, let me put this on. I'm gonna put it on a speaker here. Um, but I want to say this, just guys, on my end, I'm here with Parker Imro, and we're on the conversation station. He's going to explain what an NFT is, because when he told me the other day, when I was at his house, and I thought it was just genius and simplistic, and I think more of the world need to hear you say it.
Okay, so well, what I told you, Rodney, is I think the big misconception is people get all antsy and they're like, "Oh no, the world's gonna fall down because of this NFT thing that I've never heard of." It's like with everything new. I mean, people were scared of the internet and they still are. So I think really all an NFT is it's an extra step of verification. Like, let's say, and it allows you to retain property of digital, like if you bought like a skin in a video game, you just gave your money to Epic and you're not going to see any returns on that. But let's say you gave your money to Epic, but they give you an NFT that's linked to that very specific character, and your character has a couple of traits no other character has. Now you can retain some of that value, and who knows, you get one that someone wants. Now you can go sell the skin you spent $5 on for $100. And even besides that, anything else that is bought online or sold online, digital anything, an NFT can be used to verify that so that you know who truly owns the property, so that it's a lot harder for someone to steal someone's work or their property.
Love it, love it, genius. That's why I'm happy you shared that. I'm glad I captured that too. I mean, I know we got this recorded, but I needed to have that right
Yeah.
now. Right on, right on. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love it, man. I love what you're saying. I mean, I think it does. It allows us to double down on equity. It allows us to all get a little piece of ownership, and it it diversifies the capital ownership of things as well. You know, so
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm always, what's so funny, man, Parker? I'm always excited for the future. I have this thing I always say, it's called lean towards the future, because people don't realize that we have the ability to stack wisdom on top of each other. So how we did things, 20 years ago, um, today they're much faster and better, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at that, and like I even look at the laptop I bought 3 years ago. I was like, this is the be all end all, greatest piece of technology I ever owned. Then I got a good PC, and it changes everything because, like, the computer is faster. And even in the past couple years, I mean, the newest CPU, which is only 1 year, like 1 year older than the one I got, now it makes the one I got seem a lot lower spec, though it's still high up there. Everything is only going to get faster and better, but along that, there's going to be some hiccups and things are going to go bad. But eventually, you look throughout history, we're going to bounce back if things go bad. And things have to get worse for things to get better. So if we make a
Yeah,
big jump in technology, like whenever like a new operating system releases, that's why it's called the bleeding edge of tech, is because it's going to hurt for a little bit because it's not fully optimized. But once it gets optimized, you're like, why the heck didn't we have this yesterday?
exactly. Exactly. Oh man. They just need to listen to Parker. That's it. That's why. That's all it is. You need more conversation station. That's what I'm gonna say. That's another drop. The world needs more conversation station. Awesome. Awesome. So
So
go ahead.
my next thing I wanted to ask you, because
Yes.
I mean it's pretty controversial right now. What's your opinion on Meta, or the Metaverse as they're calling it? Is it Zuckerberg's next big attempt to wipe out humanity, or is it all cuddly bears just giving us hugs?
um, I mean, I think that if I was, let me just say what I think about the meta. I think it's a, the hype is crazy right now, and I think is that's a it's how they're doing it. It's a genius marketing strategy. One, so I also like to credit things from that perspective of awareness, right, and reach. Secondly, I think that where you could always find something bad about something, you could always find something good about it. So my perspective when I see things, because I don't do dinner meetings with Mark Zuckerberg, right? So I don't know the guy like that, right? So for me to, I don't typically like to jump into somebody's brain that I don't really have dinner conversations with or depth conversations with, because really I have no idea. But all I can do is from a speculation aspect of what the person has said in their keynotes. Um, the thing that I do see is, yeah, they are investing in the future and they're putting tens of billions of dollars into where they see us eventually going, which is we are right now inside of a platform, digital platform. We're inside a Zoom in this very moment, and we can experience and see each other right now. So if you just take everything that we're doing currently and you take it a step further, we
Yeah,
could literally
it's
be at a retreat. We you know what I mean? We're at this destination, this virtual destination together, exploring something like we go to a place and it's happened to be in Africa, but we're literally at home and we literally are exploring that place and learning. We're having the same conversation, but we're now going to that particular village. We're learning about the culture. We're diving deep, and these are all things that can be done virtually. So we can all be there as a group and experiencing virtually prior to us going physically. I'm not saying that because I think that there's always, when you look at the planes of where we're at, spiritual, mental, and physical, you're gonna have to do some physical attributes. So I don't think people are
yeah.
saying, hey, you're gonna be now humans are not gonna be active as they are. Well, so we have to take responsibility to be active. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? So because they created the Oculus and now there's things to do inside of the metaverse consistently, like now they're going to take us off the map of not doing things. I mean, that's where the human responsibility has to come into play as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's a creation of, and that's what they're asking for, right? It's like asking for more human creation inside of where we're already going. I mean, I've already have, with our company Mentors Collective, which is it's basically a talent management organization for NFT artists, and we already have our meetings in the virtual world, right? We have our NFTs up on the wall. We have our documents that we need to go over, and we're literally all experiencing the documents
Yeah.
inside of a place collectively together,
And
right?
I think that it being there is great, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be just like everything else in life. It's always gonna be about balance, because how do you balance
yeah,
not getting so sucked into that world that you forget about the real one? I think
exactly.
what scares people is they see the movie Ready Player One, and then they're like, that's where we're going. We're
Yeah.
just gonna live there, and then we're never gonna see anybody in real life. But that's not practical. This isn't some
No.
action sci-fi film. This is real life,
Right.
where like
Yeah.
what, look at it from a different perspective, where you got kids spending their entire day using just their two hands playing video games for 10 hours a day. But
Facts.
you take that into something like an Oculus. Like I was at my friend's house the other day playing Oculus. I
Yep.
got oh so it was just as fun. I enjoyed it more than sitting here on my computer doing it. But I actually got a workout in from doing these boxing games and these sports games. It actually
That's right.
stimulates you. You actually have to move. So so although it can
Yes.
scare people, it's better than what people are doing right now. It's an improvement and it's nothing more or less. It's just an improvement to something already there. And I think once people catch on to that, their opinions on this on meta will change. I think it would be really cool to be like have all these venues and just being able to go there and check them out and like you're showing your house. Well,
Right.
why don't people can just walk over there in the metaverse, check it out, you know,
Yeah.
have a little
Yeah.
thing where they can write down that they're interested in.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, change my mind. Tell me that this isn't a good thing. I mean, I don't trust Zuckerberg with it because I don't think he's going to do anything great for our privacy. But like the metaverse is going to be great. I
Yeah.
mean, like it's going to be fun because instead of feeling like we're going through a screen, we could be sitting in, I don't know, freaking Bali, just at like some crazy temple having this conversation.
Exactly. Exactly. No, 100%.
And
100%. I
I don't think that complete and total virtual reality is the future. What I think is really the future is going to be AR, which I don't remember the exact name for. I think it's something reality. It's augmented reality, which means
yeah,
adding on to your physical environment. So you can see your
exactly.
physical environment, but it's adding on to it. So it's almost
Yeah.
like it's like if you were to play a game like Beat Saber, because I'm guessing a lot of you know what that is. But instead of just being fully in the virtual world, now randomly along your wall, a hole gets blasted, and then the blocks start flying in. So you're still in reality, and you can still interact with your stuff. But then being able to have your virtual documents in front of you, and being able to have
Yeah.
your virtual pen and being able to write it down, but then it's instantly saved to the cloud. People already do that with iPads, but it's just
Exactly.
another step in that direction.
Just another step. There you go. So I would add to what you're saying and say, hey, we are already there. Like literally, if like to take what you said with video games, people will spend hours and hours and hours on Instagram or any social platform. Those are digital platforms. So that means you are experiencing human interaction and engagement literally through a digital platform. So you already are there. This is just saying, hey, let's go a step further. Now let's say you see a post and your friends are at a concert and you see that and all of a sudden you click and now you can actually experience that same concert
And
because
and
there's a
and
there's a VR attribute to that particular
it's
concert.
another business opportunity because now
Yes.
they can charge like 500, 600, $1,000 for tickets, but then if someone wants to experience it virtually, it's only $30 to be there
You got it.
virtually. And
You got
so
it.
and now you can just drop in the middle of the concert. You're like, "Ooh, I really want to see this." Like I totally forgot that this was happening. And
Exactly.
it's never the thing that I think scares people is they're like, it's going to be the same as being there live. No matter how good our technology gets, because
Yeah.
we're so used to reality, it will never get there. It
Right.
will never
Right.
get there. We will never get to the Matrix. I don't think
Yeah.
we'll get to the Matrix because I mean, you just look at our technology and it's going to get close, but you'll always be able to tell because VR games right now don't look like reality. You know you're
Right.
not in
Right.
reality. So
Yeah.
they're going to get better and they're going to get to the point of some good CGI, but even with good computer generated imagery, if you really want to, you can just look at it and be like something isn't right. Like
Right.
like the Jurassic Park movie still looks better than the new Jurassic Worlds, and it's not because lack of VFX. It's because something doesn't look right because they used an actual miniature in Jurassic Park and just used
Right.
CGI. So you can tell the little bit that something's off. And even just in life, when you're being watched, when someone's looking at you and you don't even know they're looking at you, you can tell something is off. So tell me how, when
Yeah.
you're in a completely virtual environment, you're not going to know something's off. Also, just touch your face and then you'll know,
Yeah.
unless Elon Musk hacks us with those neural links.
Right. Yeah. No. I think, as it's just fear of the unknown. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. But you still have to be, talk about personal development. You still have to be self-aware. You still have to take your time to learn and grow and know what you can handle and what you can't handle. So I think that we, as humans, we still need to zone in on personal responsibility, right? Like, just, yeah, there's going to be technology and things that, we utilize as an advancement. Like, for an example, some people can look at the cell phone and be like, man, this is a major, major distraction of life, right? Some people can look at this and say, this is a beautiful tool of life.
It's
And I,
all
I,
about
I've,
how
I've
you
quoted
use it.
100%. I use this example when I said, you can use a hammer to kill people, or you can use the hammer to build houses, build dreams, right? That's the same way you can utilize money, same way you can utilize your mobile device. So
It's the same
taking
way you can
personal
utilize anything.
responsibility, exactly, right? So there's food everywhere. You can choose to eat food that's going to be great for the nourishment of your body and help you continuously grow, or you can just eat a bunch of BS and then all of a sudden it literally kills you faster,
Yeah.
right? It takes you off faster. So that's where the personal responsibility needs to also come into play
Well,
too.
yeah, I think that
You
that's
know,
again, like I think that's another thing that has people scared is they see how they can't control it themselves when they're looking at this. How,
yeah,
they
exactly.
they don't think they can control themselves when they're
No,
looking at this.
no,
It's
not at
like
all.
it's just people are scared for themselves, and I think all you got to do is have that self-control.
Yeah, yeah, that's the piece right there that you just said, that self-control, which means, again, it comes back, the big part of this comes back to self and taking 100% responsibility of your actions. Why are you doing what you're doing? What are you doing? Right. So, hey, I'm gonna take the Oculus, and like you say, well, I see this as another stream of revenue, a business opportunity. Hey, instead of now I was able to sell tickets for $500 for people to be there physically, but now I can get this whole side of people who can't fly out to that destination, but they could pay $30 to jump in there and physically be, digitally be there and have a very good experience, right? So
Yeah,
it's a very, very good thing.
and I think it's just going to come down to how people use it because you look at technology,
Yes.
it's all about how you use it. And
Yeah.
I think that that's a big part of what has people scared because they don't know how they're going to use it.
No, not at all. Not at all. They don't. So it's you know, again, it's kind of like, I tell people when they want to invest in NFTs and stuff like that. I'm like, don't break the bank on, if you're ignorant about something, don't break the bank, right? Test it out and play with it. Use some Tahoe money, we call it, right? So a weekend at Tahoe, but don't say, hey, all of a sudden I see something and it looks crazy, and I'm gonna put all of my eggs in that one basket, without doing my personal due diligence, without my personal research and understanding of that thing, right? So, yeah, I think people forget about that. Take take control of your
Yeah.
own mind before you make a move. Yep. So
Yeah, that's the key is just not to just really the key is don't mess it up.
yeah, right. Make sure you maximize it correctly.
If you don't mess it up, then you won't have a problem.
Right, right. So I got a question. I got a question for you in
Okay.
terms of the future. What, you at your age and where you're at right now in life? What are some of the major things that you think about, or you concerned about, or maybe you're like, hey, I need to make sure that I know this in order to go where I want to go. Where
Well,
where where's that at?
I mean, that's actually a real tough question, but I think it really just has to do with virtualization is the future
Yep.
because I mean, you even look at it now. Now kids like me aren't going home and doing their homework on this. They can get chewed up by their dog. They're doing their homework on this. Once they hit submit,
Yeah.
there's no risk of it being chewed up. And so I think
None.
so virtualization is the future.
Okay.
So no matter so I think things are just going to get more virtualized, but with that people are going to get more scared of virtualization. So I think the
Yeah.
biggest thing is know your technology, Don't be that one person at, I don't know, 20 who still can't change their who still can't like connect to Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Like,
Yep.
because with the trajectory things are on, it's going to be a lot easier to do things like the simple mundane tasks
Okay.
on
Yep.
technology. Like, and I think another big thing that people are going to have to know, especially
Okay.
for business, is what can I do in this industry? Because what's currently happening is factory workers are being replaced with robots. So what your options are is people are like, that's horrible. But metaverse is, but now NFTs are becoming an entrepreneurial career. And now
Right.
all these other options are starting up from virtualization. So like
Yeah.
now instead of just like there's a lot of jobs that are completely obsolete, but when a job becomes obsolete, that same technology opens up new ones.
Absolutely.
So you got to stay diligent, and
Yeah.
you can't just be like, "Oh no, I can tell this is coming from my industry." Okay. Well, then before it gets to you, find something that you can do so that you make more money than your old industry. So if you get there before it gets to you, you win.
Yeah. 100%. No, I love that. I love that what you're saying. I mean, it's again back to leaning towards the future. And one of the things you said that was incredible is be diligent and have a willingness to continuously and consistently want to learn those things of what is my industry going to look like 10 years from now, and start working on that now. Right? Where is it going to go? Where are we going? Where's my customers going? What are my
Yeah.
customers utilizing? What value are they consistently saying they need or they want or they desire? And how can I implement that in terms of my industry?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
here's the biggest thing. Like the one thing that will never be replaced by technology, or it's 200 years out, is creative work. So whatever you can get into that is creative, whether it's a side job
Yeah.
creating necklaces or selling
Yeah.
necklace NFTs on Meta, for crying out loud. No matter what, there's not a replacement for the human mind being creative. There
Ding ding
just
ding ding ding.
isn't. So find something creative that you enjoy and do it. Chase it. Like, this is fun. This is creative. You think that you're going to get this kind of conversation from AI? Hello, Rodney. I am
No.
Park
No.
AI. That's not interesting. It's not. So
No.
just find
Not at
something
all.
creative you enjoy
That's it.
and do it.
That's it. That's where you need to insert the DJ noise. Like, yes, that right there. Find some creativity. You know what I subscribe to the idea of, amateurs compete, professionals create, because what you said is unlimited, right? So our human potential and mind of ideas are like unlimited. So it's continuous. So you can take any situation, you can say, hey, I'm going to look at this world of NFTs or this world of augmented reality, and just pause for a minute and just think through, and then you find something creative to put on top of that. Or,
Yeah.
like you said, I'm going to create something inside of this ecosystem that people can utilize as a utility, kind of like we did with the VEC NFTs, right? Hayden said, hey, you need a vehicle if you're going to be inside of the metaverse. I'm going to create a spaceship vehicle that everyone can utilize. So now it's a utility. How can I create? So
Well, yeah,
love what you're
that's
saying.
all these
That's what
big
we're doing.
businesses are doing. Well, you know
Uh,
what? Okay, I got my question. What would
okay.
you tell a younger version of yourself to look out for?
Yourself. No. Uh, I would say to look out for it. It's funny.
Okay, let
As
me
I said
rephrase the question.
that.
If you could give like one piece of knowledge, like if you had one one little nugget, like maybe not a little nugget, maybe like like a gigantic bar of gold, but like if you had one like topic of knowledge you could give a younger version of yourself or just a young person in today's world, what would it be?
Listen to the YouTube of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, constantly. Uh, uh, and then I would also say, uh, yeah, I would study that. I would study that book sooner than later because everything is predicated on the way you think. And when you understand that you have the ability to control your mind and what you consume your mind with, it definitely translates into um, a more fulfilling life. That's what I would say. It's a yeah. When you can really say, you know what, I'm doing what I want to do because it has some form of purpose behind it. And sometimes you just have to just explore, put everything on the table, kind of like eating, right? So I don't know what I like until I just explore and eat.
You
You know
don't
what I
know what
mean?
you like till you taste it.
Until you taste it, right? So you got to taste those things. You got to get busy that way. But I would say sooner than later, read powerful books like Think and Grow Rich because it will enrich your way of thinking. So when you are tasting things, you kind of have a guide that assists
You
you.
have a more traversed palate.
Yeah, you got it. 100%. Brilliant. Brilliant way of putting that. 100%. So that's what I would
So
say.
you'd say
And
just
then have fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that. Yeah, have fun with life. You already know about this. Getting yourself a mentor and a tour guide. Mentorship earlier is definitely a great move because if Parker, if you and I went to a country we've never been before, we would be like, well, it might make sense to get a tour guide
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we don't want to go down alleys. We don't
We
like,
don't
you
want to
know what
go to
I'm saying?
like some random
No,
place in Africa and like say
right.
something
And
that gets everybody mad at us and then get beaten up by
right.
some like leader of
Yeah,
somewhere.
exactly. And somebody that's from there could have been like, hey, I could have told you that. Well, you see what I'm saying? So you want to avoid those things and get the right information in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it this way. If you get a tour guide when you go to a new place and you're only there for a couple of days, why don't you have a tour guide for life?
Voila. Voila. 100%.
Boop, 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 boop.
That's it, man. Conversation station, ladies and gentlemen, man. Yeah, this is fire. This is what it's about. That's
Yeah.
that's a that's a good one. Well, I'm excited, man. I appreciate the opportunity to be your first guest on the conversation station. You know, looking out, and I will be excited to promote and share and invite all of the above, man.
Yeah, this has been real fun, man.
Yeah.
Uh I mean, thank you for kind of pushing me to do this because I was kind of on the edge thinking about it, not really going for it, and then you just told me do it, and then here we are.
And now you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It just takes away everything by just doing it, right? It's so funny because it's like because even me, right? I say, hey, I need to go ahead and explore and get on more podcasts, and by helping you do something, I end up doing something. And that's a phrase I'll leave with this. If you help enough people get what they want out of life, you'll get everything you want out of life. So, it kind of goes together. There it is.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
Thanks, guys, for watching the show. I just finished talking to Rodney Farrell, and this has been the Conversation Station.